friends. Anyway. Hey guys. 2015 has been a very big year for me and for most of you. I thought I finally got an ass. I did not. I actually found out my scoliosis came back. I got food poisoning recently from a Chinese restaurant called Chinese Restaurant. I also dropped $20 in the toilet and had to decide how much I wanted $20. I'm 65 grand in debt. I wanted it. So, I'm 65 grand in debt, and I also use the website Mint, so you can plug in all of your assets, and then in the top right corner, it'll calculate your assets like, your retirement fund, your student loans, and it'll give you a net worth. And for New Year's, it had these fun suggestions. So if you had an income, it would be how to plan a party on a $500 budget, and it would be related to how much you made. And so for mine, I turned it on that morning. I was like, what am I gonna do? And it said, how to plan New Year's on a negative $56,000 budget. I guess I'll avoid my family and friends. Anyway, I work as a server in New York. I paid them to come. Yeah! What's great about servers is I work with a lot of sexually confident people. I have the sexual prowess of a host at Chuck E. Cheese. My coworkers will go to a table and they'll be like, oh, here's your spinach dip. I go to a table, I surprise them with chili. I'm like, what are your kids doing? Do you like Pokemon? Great, let's get this going. Sunday fun day. And nobody wants to fuck that guy. Nobody wants to fuck Sunday fun day. No one wants to fuck someone that's gonna boop you on the nose during sex. No one wants to fuck the guy that's gonna bring you to a house of mirrors on a date and be like, let's get freaky, what's going on here? Don't bring me here. Don't do that to me again. I've always wanted to be sexy. I wanted to be at a bar at the end of the counter in a deep squat, pouting, sipping on something. People be like, who's that? It's just me. Myself alone. This is gonna be weird because a lot of my friends are here, but I wasn't expecting this. No surprise, I lost my virginity this year. I think I was saving it. I was letting it age like a glass of milk. I spent part of my time last year as a moderator on OkCupid, which means, for the singles in the audience, if you don't know what OkCupid is, it is a dating website. And when you flag an image on OkCupid, it gets sent to me. And I have to decide, is it okay? More often than not, it's not. I don't know what it is about dating websites that brings out the serial killer in white men. I was sent an image of a man. Do you know the film Red Dragon? In the film Red Dragon, it's about a serial killer. And this bald middle-aged man who traps people in his basement, does that sort of thing. He walks up to, very casual, he walks up to a mirror in his house. He's a full mirror. And he walks up to it in a robe, drops the robe, and the camera is filming his back. And when he drops the robe, his whole back is just tattooed with a dragon flexing. I never thought I would see that again. I was sent an image of a middle-aged man naked in front of his mirror flexing with a red dragon tattoo, and I had to communicate with this individual. I was also sent an image of a middle-aged man in very tight chinos who had censored out his own face. And his comment underneath his photo was, "I will thrash you." And I asked him, what do you mean by that comment? It could be construed as violent. He said, none of your business. Have you guys ever dated a complete piece of shit? I dated this guy who was like a broken computer. He kept asking me the same question when we first started seeing each other, thinking that it would get me into bed. And so we were sitting around once, and he sits there like with his legs gently spread. He's like, Laurel, do you yearn? And I was like, I guess like everyone wants something, I suppose. And it didn't work. So he kind of was like, do you yearn? No, it's like if you go in for a kiss and someone turns you down, you don't go like, oh, okay, feel it. It's not gonna happen. I'll wrap up with a very short story, which is sort of like To Catch a Predator, but my life. When I was 16, my grandmother set me up with a 40-year-old man because she had lost her virginity at the age of 14 to a drifter in a barn in Canada, and I was taking entirely too long. And so he came over one day, and she calls up the stairs, and she's like, Laurel, you have a visitor. Because she has a very deep register. And so I came down the stairs out of the shower in a robe, and there's a 40-year-old man standing on the other side of a circular table. And I immediately get a bad feeling. And I know this guy, he's giving me a job. And so as the conversation continues, I try to keep as much physical space between me and him as possible, because it's us alone in the room. My grandma's disappeared. So I'm keeping physical space, not only physical space, but a physical object. We start to circle the table as we're conversing. He eventually gets to sort of feel that he's circling me like a lion in the Serengeti, and leaves as awkwardly as he possibly can. My grandma peeks out behind the corner and she's like, how'd it go? I was like, I don't know, Nan. I don't know why this man would have the idea that I was even remotely interested in him. Like, maybe I told him you were. What are you, like, a fucking imp? Guys, that is all I have for you this evening.